Welcome back, Crip Crow! Thank you so much for joining me on this very, very fucking special edition of Dark Reflections. We're back. We're back with Dark Reflections tonight. Tonight we are talking about our fucking brothers. You already saw it. Our fucking brothers down there in Texas. Scream at the motherfucking sky! Come on. Just dropped this beautiful new 5-track EP, Stay in the Clouds, on October 1st. This was dropped on October 1st. Fucking merch. Fucking unbelievable. This one was recorded, like, I'm just reading you kind of like, because you guys know, when we do these, we like to do, like, as many liner notes. I like to hit the cover artist, everything I can. I honestly, if I remember correctly, I think Brian, the lead vocalist, did the cover. I could be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong if you're seeing this, Brian. But I thought I remembered you saying that, but it was recorded by James Gelber, not sure how to pronounce his last name. Outstanding. Absolutely fucking incredible production on this record. It was recorded on October 1st, it was released on October 1st, and I saw them live. Got to meet them for the first time in person. Of course, they've been on the show before. I got to meet them for the in person for the first time on September 26th at the Music Factory in Battle Creek, Michigan. Aaron and I have already talked about that show a little bit on an episode, but I mean, it was just unbelievable. It was a Sunday night, in Battle Creek, Michigan, which is, basically nowhere, Michigan, in a lot of ways. Not talking shit or anything, but I'm just saying. And the Music Factory is seriously one of my favorite venues in the state right now. They just fucking kill it. They fucking kill it every time. They have a beautiful venue, wonderful staff. It's an absolutely outstanding venue. Scream of the Sky is there, and they end up performing by necessity as a two-piece. David and Brian. David on drums, Brian on lead vocals and guitar. And my God, like, they didn't miss a I was so beyond impressed. I was standing in the crowd, and I remember specifically thinking, like, looking up at these two guys with this incredible band. If you've ever heard me do any of their Dark Reactions before, we've had interviews with them before. We've done a lot of stuff with Scream of the Sky at this point, and to see them perform as a two-piece and have it sound so authentic and raw, like everybody was there, so massive, like everybody was there. I remember standing there in the crowd and just being like, looking up at David and Brian and being like, this is where these two guys are meant to be. Like, these guys are meant to be on this stage together. Like, it was kind of surreal. Very rarely do I go to a show and see a band perform as a two-piece that I expect as a full band. That's already rare. But then even rarer is to be like, no, these two guys are the heart and soul of this on this stage right now. And there's nowhere else these guys are meant to be. So all of the fucking props to David and Brian. They were fucking wonderful to me. I had a wonderful experience that night. I know I talked about it on previous podcasts, so I'm not going to get too far into it, but it was just absolutely a magical night for me as a fan, and just this fucking, lowly fucking podcaster up here in Michigan, to have these guys from Texas come up here and melt my fucking face off, like, in how wonderful they were. Their merch guy, I got to talk to him for a while. He was amazing. Like, it just, everybody in their crew was just wonderful, and just very, very wonderful people. I cannot speak highly of them enough. So I did want to mention that. Again, one more time, here it is. Scream at the Sky, Stay in the Clouds, fucking out October 1st, so it's out right now for everybody to hear. listen to this shit. I'm not going to go too deep. I got my notes here. I'm not going to go too deep into My Words or and Another Day in Hell because I already did a full Dark Reactions on both of those tracks when they were first released. Those were the first 2 singles off of this 5-track EP. But what I will say is My Words is, to me, okay, My Words is one of the best descriptions of the bands that they ever put out. What I mean by that is I feel like it's a great encompassing of all the many, many, many different things that they do perfectly. Like, it's such an amazing song. I love how the screams, it starts off with the screams and they kind of bleed into the clean vocals a little bit, which I think is absolutely stunning. Has hands down one of the best hooks on the whole thing, and the hooks on this are massive and incredibly addicting. It fucking like My Words like kind of crescendos on the hook in a beautiful way. Incredible riffs and drumming. It has like almost like a Pantera Devil Driver groove to it, but perfectly blended, beautifully blended with a more kind of and this is very important, a modernized nu metal sound. I've never heard anybody else modernize that early 2000s nu metal sound in a way that Scream at the Sky does. And they do it fucking beautifully. Like, just absolutely, I don't know how else to describe it, just beautifully. Like, the way they blend it all together, I don't know. To me, it's kind of fucking magical. Honestly, it's absolutely magical. Another Day in Hell. Again, I'm not going to go too deep into it. I already did Dark Reactions, so go back and check that out. But the most neck breaker of the album, hands down, starts Ruthless. Incredibly fucking, like, it's got dirty cleans. Like, the cleans are there, but they're like, they're gravelly, they're dirty, and I fucking love that. I love that the Ruthless neck breaking foot, like, Another Day in Hell, in My Words, it's no question that these were the 2 singles. Best hooks, hands down, on the album. Like, absolutely, completely addicting, and incredibly phenomenal. The drums and guitar, excellent, and it's just nonstop Groove City on Another Day in Hell. It's fucking... They blend, like, the groove and the new in such a specific way. It's very exciting. It's very exciting to hear, for me personally as a fan, more of the groove genre, but in recent years been getting a lot more into the nu metal that I was kind of, that I kind of, like, in a way grew up on the radio or whatever, but very, we all go through that thing where, like, I hate the radio. So now it's all kind of coming back, and I'm really falling in love with it. And to hear these guys blend these sounds in these different ways, it's just fucking, they are magicians to me. They're just doing magic, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Seances and fucking. Yeah, it's just really, really phenomenal to me. But now let's dive in to the rest of this EP, starting up with Without You. It's probably the, if you had to say there was it's slower tempo. I'm not even going to say there's a slow song on this. That's not even accurate. Because that's not true. It's not true. But it's definitely a slower tempo in this one, but it's unbelievable vocal performance. Like, it reminds me of, like, early 2000s style in a beautiful way. Really wonderful lyrics, specifically the hook. First song on the EP that has mostly cleans, but I like how I really enjoy, like, most of the verses, at least, are mostly cleans. But I loved how they integrated the screams into specifically the hooks to really accentuate them. Like, I felt like it was I can't remember the word right now, but I feel like it was like something that accentuated, like really brought him up a little bit. It was clean. It had this specific vibe, and then adding the screaming vocals into like the underneath kind of the clean hooks really added like a song to the fucking to the track that really gave it a life and an energy that is, I don't know, I really fucking love that track. Now, fuck, I kind of have my notes a little mixed up here. Last Blue Day is the last track, right? Okay, so Burn This World. Sorry, I have my notes a little bit mixed. Burn This World featuring Gorilla Pimp. Okay, Burn This World featuring Gorilla Pimp, who, as far I know nothing about Gorilla Pimp, okay, other than his performance on this track, Burn This World, with Scream at the Sky. I assume he's a rapper. Because that's what he did on the track. I know nothing about him, okay? But, wow. Like, absolutely incredible performance. This track, now, it's very, like, ethereal and clear, almost like a light feeling, but it's a light feeling, but retains all the heavy. It has an incredible fucking intro. Phenomenal. Like, I love the drumming on this one. The drumming drops and everything like that is God damn it, so fucking good. It almost in some ways like a punk feeling to me at certain points, like kind of like a punk hardcore, like a, you know what I mean, like kind of that kind of feeling at certain points. But then Gorilla Pimp comes in and delivers a verse that is unbelievable. That it's reminiscent of a Bone Thugs and Harmony, a Cypress Hill, a Tech Nine, a Cottonmouth Kings. To me, reminiscent of all these things. Again, I know I say this every Dark Reflections at some point, but I can't drive this point home enough because I feel like a lot of people get nit fucking picky, especially in our genre, in the world of heavy metal. When I describe somebody as sounding like something else, I'm using it as an adjective, okay? I'm not using it to pigeonhole. It's never to say this is what they sound like. I just have no other words to describe the sounds that I'm hearing. So I'm not putting any of this in any sort of category ever on this podcast, ever. It's just to let you know the kind of feelings and sounds that I get from it. And the only way I know how to do that is to be like, it gives me this from this other band. But let's be real, everybody gives us everything from Black Sabbath. It all starts there. So there's that. But I just wanted to, again, as I always do, drive that point home of, I'm not saying these people sound like these people. All I'm saying is that this is kind of the best way I have to describe it. It's the only words that I have to describe it. So I did want to, as I always do, make that clear, because I feel like that gets lost a lot in the heavy metal community in a big bad way, and I think we need to bring that back of just like, this is just how they sound, but in reality, everybody now just mixes 15 different sounds that are based on 15 different other sounds, and that's where their sound comes from. So we're in this crazy world right now, and of all these different subgenres and everything, and all of us in reality are together. So I just wanted to make that point of, like, as I always do, of just, I'm not saying this is what anything sounds like. This is just as close as of words as I can get to describing it. That's all. So yeah, I always want to make that point on these, because I feel like a lot of people out there are still like, he said it sounds like this, so yeah. No. Like, this is as close as I can get, and I'm just trying to relate. So adjectives instead of pigeonholes. So let's keep going with that. But Gorilla Pimp, you're a fucking killer. I'm definitely going to dive deeper into your stuff because I loved that verse that you did on this track, Burn This World versus Scream at the Sky. The whole track is fucking outstanding. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, on to The Last Blue Day. This one is kind of... This was kind of a tough one for me. Honestly, this was kind of a tough one for me. I love the track, but in terms of to describe, especially in relation to the rest of the EP, that's one of the things that this EP does so wonderfully is it really goes through the motions. It goes through a lot of different things. It's not ever one thing, and I love that. But this track in particular just felt like it's heavy as fuck. Like, show it to anyone who doesn't listen to heavy metal and there's never heard heavy metal, and they'll be like, this is the heaviest thing I've ever heard. To me, while it was heavy as fuck, it was also like, it had this very ethereal, like, light feeling. It was like, it just felt fresh. It was fresh. There we go. It was fresh. It was light to me while retaining all of the fucking heavy. It has this fucking I don't know how, like, it just has this really wonderful, like, it's not upbeat in any way, it's not like poppy or anything, it's just clear. It's like standing it for I don't, and I've never done this, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but to me, it was like imagining standing at a mountaintop. Just like fresh and free and clear, but heavy as a motherfucker. And just a beautiful song. Absolutely beautiful song. And I think a perfect closer to such an incredible EP. All killer, no filler. All killer, no filler. You know, it's just every single... This is a band that I don't understand how their shit isn't on regular rotation on the radio, because they are accessible in that way to, you know, the public, to, you know, people that don't just listen to Cannibal Corpse and Lamb of God and Lorna Shore and Slayer and Hatebreed and all the other, you know, Burzum, you know, all the deepest, undergroundest, you know, and I'm sure a lot of people would give me shit for saying those are underground at this point, but you know what I mean. Like, they just really do a wonderful job at marrying so many different influences, and to me, and anybody that's followed this show for a long time knows that I don't particularly go for tracks with screaming and singing. It's not something I ever gravitated towards before starting this podcast. Since starting this podcast, I have found a lot of bands, Suffocating Lie, for example, that have changed my mind on that have shown me a different way, and I've been more open to it as well. So Scream at the Sky is definitely one of those bands for me, especially like looking back lately, especially since I started this show and getting more into that early 2000s stuff that was super popular when I was in school, when I was like, nah, oh, that sucks, I just want Megadeth and Iron Maiden, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm, you know, breaking out of that stupid fucking fake elitist shell that we all go through as metalheads, I feel, and getting to the other side and rediscovering this stuff and rediscovering these old sounds, and that leading to being able to appreciate Scream at the Sky for everything that they are. And it's, I don't know, they are artists. This is real fucking art. This is real fucking beauty to me, what they're doing. Everything about these guys. They are on tour right now. Hopefully I get this out while they're still on tour so I can promote for them. I fucking love these guys to death. And this EP, Scream at the Sky, Stay in the Clouds, is just some of the best shit I've heard this year. I don't. These guys should have already broken to me. I don't like. It blows my mind that they are at a point where they would still talk to somebody as small as me, because they should be giant. They should be giants. They are that good. They are that fucking good. They are that fucking dedicated. I don't know anybody. Like the hardest fucking working people in heavy metal on that list is these guys. I'm not going to go through the list right now, but fucking in all of history, in all of the heavy metal history that I know of, these guys would make that fucking list, and they deserve every fucking ounce of your attention. They will fucking tour no matter fucking what, just like the Convalescents, just like Cannibal Corpse, just like all Dahlia, just like all the greats that have come before. They tour relentlessly, and they will do it no matter what. Nothing will ever stop them, and that is what makes relentlessness relentless. These guys are relentless, reckless, forever. That's the fucking new motto of this show. Children of Bodom, relentless, reckless, forever. Like that, that is what it apparently takes. Like, they blow my mind. They absolutely blow my mind. They blew me away on stage that night. I was literally standing there just like in awe of like, I can't. They're doing this as a two-piece, and then the whole sound was still there, and it was just fucking. For me, it was a magical night. Like, I got to really hang out with them. I got to talk with them in person, off camera, like as just normal people, and like it was just. It was an honor to meet him. I had such a good time with them, and their performance just absolutely floored me, and their performance on this EP fucking floored me. I cannot recommend it enough. So that's gonna about do it for this episode of Dark Reflections. Everybody scream at the motherfucking sky, stay in the fucking clouds, smoke your joints, and listen to this shit. Like, unbelievable. These guys are unbelievable, and I absolutely love them to death. So everybody be sure to check out all things Scream at the Sky. All the links in the description below to the new EP, the tour dates, the social medias, everything. Everything's there, I promise. So be sure to check out all things Scream at the Sky. Please, I cannot recommend it enough. If you're into kind of like that new metal sound at all, if you like a great song to fucking that gets the hair on your fucking arm standing up, that fucking gets the hair on your neck standing up, that you can just scream and sing along to in the car, this is for you. This shit is the Mad Notes, yo. This shit is the Mad Notes right the fuck here. So check it out. I cannot recommend it enough. Pick up a fucking physical copy. It's so worth it. It's beautiful artwork. I mean, come the fuck on. Scream at the Sky, everyone. These guys deserve every ounce of your attention, because, oh man, there's no way they're not going to be huge. So I fucking love these guys to death. Brian, David, fucking, if you guys are watching this, I fucking love you guys. I know you're on tour right now. Can't wait to have you back on to talk about this EP and everything upcoming in your future. I know you got a lot. I know you guys are busy. No worries. But I fucking love you guys, and I cannot thank you guys enough for just that wonderful night that we had in Battle Creek at the Music Factory. It was amazing. So thank you guys so much, and thank all of you for checking out this edition of Dark Reflections about Scream at the Sky, Stay in the Clouds. I mean, we recently passed 200, and this shit is just going bonkers. So I can never ever thank you all enough for being here with me tonight. But as always, we got a lot more coming in the future, and until then, raise your fucking horns and bang your goddamn heads. We love you all to death. Everybody blast Scream at the Sky. Good night. Blah.